Project Zomboid has a bit of a reputation, the same way your mother has a reputation. It's large, unforgiving, and every now and then it beats you for no reason. But what makes Zomboid truly special is it's seemingly the only zombie survival game that is just that. It's a zombie survival game. Want to climb through a broken window? Better remove those shards of glass, or you're gonna get cut. What's that? You climbed through the window anyway and now you're dying of an infected groin? Sucks to be you. Now I see a lot of YouTubers doing very well at this game, showing off their intellectual superiority in the form of rooftop farms and insane challenges, but how does the average idiot, i.e. me, fare at this bullshit game? Well, I mean, let's see. Now I kicked things off by bringing Percy Priceless into existence, burger flipper by day, alcoholic by night. I started in Muldra, wherever the fuck that was, and awoke in what I assumed was my house. It was a bit of a shithole, with black mold growing up the walls and exactly fuck all in the way of useful stuff. I guess there was some food, so that's a plus. Fun fact though, you really don't want to be carrying any cans of food around with you all the time, as that shit is heavy. With the house pretty much desecrated, I left out the front door and killed my first zombie with a fancy crowbar I'd found. Then fiddled around with my settings for some of that ultimate gamer action. The next few minutes were honestly pretty boring. I found some soup, killed some more zombies, and found a watch. While trying to loot another house, I gained the attention of more zombies and utilised this fence. Not gonna lie, I really think I'd be dead without it, as I kind of bit off more than I could chew combat-wise. One thing led to another and I had a relatively high amount of food. Now I was just in an intense search for a house with curtains. Then, lo and behold, I found a shit bungalow with 2 curtains. Now, curtains are pretty useful in the game, as they almost entirely stop zombies from spotting you through windows, meaning you don't have to actually quietly shit yourself out of fear every time you go to sleep in the game. The downside is the false sense of security can really bite you in the ass when some meandering passerby decides to do a light bit of B&E on your property. After finding my home for the night, I literally spent the rest of the day reading. I bet Left 4 Dead doesn't have this kind of high-octane action. And I'm nearly forgetting the best part. I went to sleep. Okay, so with the first day being aggressively average, but ultimately kind of a bust, I left with high hopes and expectations of cars, food, farms, and bitches. Okay, maybe not the bitches, this was the zombie apocalypse after all, but as soon as I opened the front door, I had a fight, tired out poor Percy Priceless, and fucked off to raid the rest of the neighborhood. I found nothing and decided to move on. After some traveling, I actually saw my first car. Needless to say, it didn't have any keys, and I walked away empty-handed, but not before stealing some bath towels from the local laundromat. My travels led me to a trailer park, and a really run-down motel. Neither were particularly worth the journey. I considered turning the motel into my new home, but the lack of any security whatsoever made it a tough sell to say the least, so I left. I saw another car park to the left, which usually means something significant, and started walking over. A food market. It wasn't the worst thing I could have found, but it wasn't exactly my top fucking priority given the amount of food I actually had on me. But then again, what was my priority? Shelter, a gun, a car? A car. It's a car. I really fucking needed a car. There was actually a car in the Food Mart car park, but as per fucking usual, like fuck did I have any keys, so I couldn't exactly use it. At this point, I just kind of wandered out, hoping to stumble across everything I needed. This didn't really go too well, but thankfully my experience of COD Zombies kind of helped me with this situation of being completely fucking overwhelmed. I also found some nails, which was nice, I guess. My cluelessness paid off as I finally stumbled on another car, but here's the twist. The car keys were actually in the house. I just had to get myself into an incredibly compromising situation. Now, though I survived, fun fact, the car was actually out of fuel. Yeah. Next on my shopping list was fuel, so I could actually siphon fuel from random cars around the town. This meant that I should probably get myself some basic supplies and a small base so I could be comfortable in the nights until I actually found the fuel can and gathered enough to get the fuck out of where I started. I chucked a TV in front of the stairs and called it a night. The next day was pretty standard. I couldn't be fucked to move the TV, so I jumped out the window breaking both my legs and resumed my travels. But not before a healthy snack of absolutely nothing. At this point, I was trying to forage for a rock and maybe some sticks so I could make a hammer and really get my life together. The foggy day made the fights I had particularly stressful. While doing the whole exploring thing, I ran into a group of zombies, which normally wouldn't be an issue, but it was. I kinda got bit. Yeah, it's a bit shit to be honest. I fought off the zombies, drew the attention of more of the fuckers, hastily moved the TV so I could get upstairs, then my game crashed. Yeah, that's the good shit right there. I loaded into a, precarious situation, but somehow managed to push the zombies away. I ran into the bathroom to tend my wounds, and I'm dead. Well, that's Project Zomboid.